Another threatening tweet by the US president. Donald Trump has warned the world against doing business with Iran. Trump tweeted that anyone doing business with the Islamic Republic will not be doing business with Washington. He described the latest sanctions on Tehran as the most biting embargoes ever imposed. He added that the restrictions will be ratcheted up in November.
In any event, the US, when you sit back for a second and look at what is happening, the U.S. Exhibits just an extraordinary arrogance and hubris here.
The US president made the comments hours after reimposing the first round of sanctions on Iran. The measures were lifted following the 2015 nuclear deal. Trump has so far failed to bring the European Union into line. The bloc says a law shielding firms from US sanctions on Iran has come into force. A German expert says the EU must continue countering the US sanctions.
First of all, the Germans believe that this is the best way to contain the Iranian nuclear program at this time. Germany wants to prevent a further escalation of military conflict in the Middle East.
Europe's resistance is just a sample of global opposition to the US demand that Iran must be isolated economically. The reaction of Iranian citizens to the US sanctions has been mixed.
The sanctions are harmful, as you can see. Our officials must think of a solution. They should give priority to internal problems because people are grappling with poverty.
The country that has imposed the sanctions, namely the US, wants to cause chaos in our country. That's their sole goal. But we are a big country. I don't think the sanctions will be much of an impact.
Many interpret Trump's recent flip-flop and his offer to talk to Tehran as a sign that things are not progressing as he and his team expected. After issuing a thinly veiled threat against Iran in a tweet, Trump said in a message via Twitter days later that he was open to negotiations.
I believe it was Rouhani said the other day, if somebody stabs you in the back and then asks to talk to you, you expect them to remove the knife first. This is all rhetoric, and the U.S. must know that, yes, the global perception of the Trump administration is very negative.
Trump has repeatedly said the sanctions are meant to change Iran's behavior in the region. Some observers claim the US's ultimate goal in Iran is regime change. Others say Trump left the Iran nuclear deal with the mere intention of erasing his predecessor's legacy and that he wants talks with Iran just for the sake of talks.
Essentially, they're telling Iran you can't have an independent foreign policy of your own. You have to do what we tell you to do. And they're kind of asking them to roll over and play dead. And that's not going to happen, and they know that's not going to happen. Iran's great crime in the eyes of Washington is its independence, and this is always something the U.S. finds intolerable. But U.S. plans are to remove Iran as a power in the region.
Whatever his motive, the US president's moves, including his anti-Iran sanctions, have caused political and economic uncertainty worldwide. His critics at home and abroad believe that Trump's policies will make the US isolated.